Yeah, that was wonderful. Can we get a round of applause? Yeah, so now we're just gonna jump through some Q&A. We both had some, or we all sent some questions over. So I wanted to start with one of yours, Kelly, and pose it to both of you. Because we're talking about kind of like where we are coming from and where we want to like move to within art and kind of like the legacies that we're a part of. I really loved your question. What is one piece of art that you love so much of someone else's that you wish that you had created yourself? And I want to pose that to both of you just because I'm curious. Yeah.
I totally, we sent each other questions, but I totally didn't think of one. So now I'm like, great. One piece of art that I really love that I wish I had made. You know, it's so random. Like, there's like a movie from the 90s. I don't know who's gonna know this. There's a movie that's called Run Lola Run.
Oh, yes.
I don't know why, I just love that movie. But I think what is really interesting is you have such a strong female protagonist, and it's a very like non-linear, like it's very philosophical. There's kind of like these little moments where it's like jumping through. It's basically the story of a heist. It's like there's this girl, I think her boyfriend is like a bank robber. I can't remember the whole situation. Somebody's in trouble and she only has so much time to get money from somebody to go somewhere. So it kind of plays out all these different scenarios of what could have happened. But it's such like a bold film. It's such like an interesting film. And I think even the way they deal with like language and image and the idea of a female protagonist is just like so strong. That I really love it, and it's something that, you know, even now, it's funny how you can look at things that are older and you're like, actually this is like as progressive, if not more progressive, to whatever's being made now.
I actually had like a very academic answer prepared for this. Like, since you mentioned film, I was on Netflix like a while ago, and I don't know like how I ended up in the like French indie film section, but I found this like random French cannibal movie that was like really interesting to me. It was about this teenage girl who like is vegetarian her whole life, and then she goes to veterinary school and she has her first taste of meat, and then she discovers that she's a cannibal. And I watched all of it. I really don't know how I found it or like how I ended up watching all of it, but I really enjoyed it. Like I actually think, yeah, like I totally would have done something like that myself. If I wish I had thought of something as creative as that. But the piece really, like the film really stood out to me because it was basically like a metaphor for like a teenage girl coming of age in a way that wasn't overly like fetishized or sexualized, as we've seen in a lot of like movies about young women. I thought it was just such a visceral and just such a gripping metaphor. It's very like unpleasant, but like the director, who's also a woman, wasn't afraid to like look at the subject directly in the eye. And that's kind of what I want my writing to be like too. I want it to be, I don't want it to be like pretty, I don't want it to be something approachable. I kind of would like to write through things instead of like around them. So it kind of made me think and like reflect on my own writing and how I want to like practice it.
Cool. I have another question for you. And it kind of, I guess it ties directly in with your last poem, so it's kind of perfect. But did you grow up in a multilingual household? And how do you think that has impacted the way you write and understand language, arts, and communication?
Yeah, I grew up speaking Mandarin Chinese, and it was actually